To Raptors fans, his name is synonymous with leadership, humanity, and winning. Masai Ujiri, the architect behind the Toronto Raptors' first ever championship, and his impact on basketball stretches well beyond Canada. For the past 2 decades, he's left an indelible mark on the game in Africa.
We mean what we say when we say dream big around Africa.
With Giants of Africa, Ujiri has built dozens of courts across the continent, and through his camps, he's mentored more than 40,000 kids. But the real mission here? To lead change and inspire African youth to be far more than great basketball players.
It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what you do. Look at all our stories. Look at everybody here. We can be good. We can be great.
It's an incredible journey that started on the courts of Zaria, Nigeria, and took him to the pinnacle of excellence as an NBA executive.
But we wanted to win in Toronto, and we have won in Toronto. Yeah!
You know, as we sit here and I think of the job you have now and your entire life, one of the themes that I see throughout it is a love of basketball. Like, you just love the sport. Tell me about your relationship with basketball through your life.
You know, I'd always go play soccer with my friends in my primary school. On the way to the soccer pitch, there's a basketball court, the University Ahmadu Bello University basketball court. And every time we walk through the court, we would stop and shoot with a soccer ball. And then we would take the soccer ball and run because we would be late to go play soccer. And the day came when all of a sudden soccer is now, like out of the question, and fell in love with an unbelievable game. And that was it.
And that passion, I mean, it changed your life, it drove your life, it led you to play in North America, and then being a professional, playing in many places around the world, but there was a limit to how far being a basketball player would take you, I guess.
Yeah, I was true to myself, which sometimes is very hard to do when you question, should I still be playing? I'm playing in Europe. I'm always waiting here for my agent to call in September. I never have a consistent job. I'm not making enough money. There was almost no hope in the game. And I knew that, playing the game. And right at that time in 2002, I get a call from the Federation president in Nigeria, and they make me the head coach of the junior national team of Nigeria. It meant that I knew and had access to a lot of the best young talent in the country. And on this side, which is the NBA or the NCAAs, there's something that's needed where these kids can play and have opportunity. And I was that bridge. And I knew I was that bridge. And right around that time, that's when scouting kind of like struck me and captivated my mind.
There is a story that people in basketball know about how when you were offered a general manager's job with Denver, I mean, that's a sign of success. You would have, you'll make it if you get that job. That you insisted on $50,000 for basketball camps in Africa, and the original answer was no. I mean, were you really willing to risk that job over that $50,000?
Yes. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to be the general manager of this team. Why is it not possible for me to have this, to go give back? It has to be part of the package for me. I have to help this youth in some kind of way, that's the leverage of this job, I think.
Wow.
And I'll never forget his voice. He said to me, so for $50,000, you walk away from being the vice president of the Denver Nuggets. And I said, yes, I'd walk away. And he said, okay. And he put the phone down.
And what are you thinking at that moment?
I thought I had blundered and made the mistake of my life, like you're trembling in you. And 5 minutes later, he called back.
And you got the 50,000 for the camps.
No question.
And then get the rims. Rims you can buy, or you can still just make it locally.
Give me a quotation of what can be done, and then give me a quotation of the rims, and then we can start there, right? NBA, we are coming! Even if you don't become a pro basketball player, go and make a difference. You might be the manager of the stadium. You might be the president of the country. You might be the president of the Toronto Raptors. Make a difference in your life. Make a difference in other people's lives. Make a difference in the community. Make a difference in your country. Make a difference with your family. It's very important.
When I read about you, a couple of things that everybody seems to write are your leadership abilities and your negotiating abilities. Where did that come from? Where did you learn that?
When my mom gave me $2, and she said, go to the market, and she knew exactly what change I should be bringing back. Mm-hmm. Whether it was onions or whether it was tomato pep or whatever it was that we were sent to buy. Mm-hmm. I think for me, that skill, of learning to negotiate in the market, plays a part a little bit.
In terms of leadership, you've been privileged to have contact with some of the greatest leaders ever, including Nelson Mandela. What was it like meeting him, spending time with him?
I'll never forget walking into the room, meeting Nelson Mandela the first time, and he, it's one of those that the goosebumps you get changes the room completely, on how you think about everything. I'll never forget how he walks up and he looked at me, and all I could do was smile and keep my mouth open, and he said, "That's an incredible smile you have, young man." He changed the world. We lost a father of the world. You think about what we go through in the world now, all the problems we have, and his selflessness and everything he preached, the empowerment of women and the fight for freedom for people. We still live that. We still want to live that, and I'm incredibly grateful that I had the chance to meet him.
He was obviously in an extraordinary way a trailblazer, and I know you don't compare yourself to him, but in a way you have blazed a trail as well. It's often talked about that you were the first president of a major sports franchise in North America who is from Africa. I mean, how do you feel about that role, that distinction?
To be honest, Ian, I don't want to be. I don't like being the first. To me, there should have been more before me, if there was opportunity, maybe, and there should be lots after me. So it's in no pride or honor that I walk around saying I'm the first. I really don't look at it like that, but I am really thankful for the opportunity that I've been given.
I want to ask you about an uncomfortable moment that happened when the Raptors won the championship, when you came down to see your team and when a security guard, well, deputy sheriff, I guess, pushed you.
We over here. We over here. We world champ. We over here.
All you were doing is trying to get your credentials to show him, and not only did he not give you an opportunity to do that, but later on claimed that you had assaulted him, which, you know, eventually the video showed that you didn't. But I mean, it was a reminder that even the president of a NBA championship team in an instant can be seen as just a guy, maybe just a black guy who shouldn't be on the court. You've had a lot of time to think about that moment. As you look back at it, what does it all mean to you?
You know, I lost a moment, you know, like there's no doubt about it, you know, but when I look at it bigger, there are people that have lost lives. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are people that have lost lives, and I think that's bigger than me. I say it in a humble way. I'm privileged. I work in this environment as the president of this team, work for the NBA, so I had the support, you know, like, and I think of people that sometimes don't have that support, you know, like, and naturally I'm a forgiving person, you know, like, I think we should all be that way. Nelson Mandela taught me that. Mm-hmm. In some ways, my parents, who are the biggest leaders for me, teach me that.
You talk about your parents a lot, about the inspiration they have been for you, the leadership that they've shown you. So I want to show you a piece of video, you know it from an HBO documentary where you took the championship trophy to Africa and showed it to your parents.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for raising me the right way. I came from something. I came from something big.
God is behind you, son. You made me proud, son.
Thank you, son. Thank you. You'll be all right. You climb higher and higher and higher, Masai.
Yeah.
You said in the video you came from something big.
Yeah.
What was that?
My family, you know, like my parents, my wife, my 3 kids born in Canada. It means the whole world. And my parents raised me the right way. Yeah, and it's respect, you know, being honest. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, like, it doesn't matter where you are born in the world, nowhere, it doesn't matter where you are born. You are allowed to dream. Yeah, you are. And mine started in my house. Yeah, mine started in my house. So that is big. Where I come from is big. And I hope a lot of people will have the opportunity to know Africa more than poverty, more than safaris, more than seeing this low donations of, oh, donate $1 and you see a kid with flies. People have to see Africa bigger than that, yeah, because it's bigger. Yeah, it's bigger than that.